Hello, welcome to the Arena with Matt Boyce, RVN's only real estate specific show. With this market being a battle, we want to bring on people that are going to help you fight and win that battle. So far, we brought on some amazing local experts to give you an idea of what's happening in their own specific towns, neighborhoods, and regions. But this time I wanted to go bigger, maybe the biggest. I was able to interview Matt Ishbia, who's the CEO of United Wholesale Mortgage, also known as UWM. Now, UWM just took the #1 spot in the entire country as the top lender out there. Now, that's important because UWM is a wholesale lender. They beat out Rocket Mortgage, Bank of America, TD Bank, Wells Fargo, as again, the #1 lender. Well, why is that important and why should you care? United Wholesale Mortgage is going after mortgage brokers. They're competing for their business, whereas direct lenders, they're going directly to the consumer. As a direct lender, you only have your own specific interest rates, your own specific mortgage programs, and most important, your own specific support team. With wholesalers such as UWM, again, they have to compete. So if they don't have the support, they don't have the best rates or all of the programs available, those mortgage brokers won't use them. As a partner at Maximus Mortgage Advisors, we can use any wholesaler we want, but we consistently go back to UWM. So I wanted to bring Matt on because I felt like he can give us a macro perspective of what's happening in the market and tell us a little bit about why so many people are becoming mortgage brokers and why that's the fastest growing trend in the market right now. So many ways to get a mortgage. Why go as a mortgage broker? Why are you going that route? Well, I wanted to ask him. A little bit about Matt before we get into the interview. So Matt went to Michigan State. He was a walk-on with their basketball team. He graduated in 2003, and if you know anything about college sports, that was a pretty amazing time to be on that team. He went to 4 Final Fours, and he won the actual championship in 2000. But what's really cool is Matt was a walk-on. There he is right there. He was no bigger than I am, and I'm not that big, guys. I couldn't play high school basketball, let alone at that elite level. But the thing is, he was like the Rudy of college basketball. He had heart. He tried so hard that he won the hearts of all the fans. And that he took over to the business side. He took UWM from a 12-person shop to 7,000 plus employees. And again, they're closing hundreds of billions of dollars, and they're the #1 lender today. So I wanted to talk to Matt and ask him what's going on in the market. What are his predictions? And get to know him a little bit more so that we can understand why they're so successful and where the trends are going in this market. Without further ado, please, here's the interview with Matt Ishbia. All right, on the Arena today, we have the CEO of United Wholesale Mortgage, Matt Ishbia. Matt, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Oh, thanks for having me. Excited to talk with you.
You know, I thought a cool way to start this whole thing off would be just recapping our journey together. So a lot of people don't realize in 2018, when we onboarded, you physically were here. So it was just a crazy time because we didn't know anything about the broker world. We were retail. We were doing okay, but we wanted to do better. And I have this guy who they said was the CEO, the owner of this company. And I'm thinking, there's no way. He's just a high-level account executive. He's a VP. Why would the owner of a big company take the time to talk to us? We're doing 80 million maybe at the time. So why would you take that time to talk to us? So I got to say, it was cool from that moment to now, we went from 80 million to last year did over 250 million. A big part of that success was your company. So I thought, no, what better way to bring you on here today, help us launching the Maximus Mortgage brand, which of course is powered by Garden State Home Loans, where we're just trying to duplicate our success, and you were a big part of that success. So thanks so much.
No, well, thank you. I remember that day when we met in that little office on the right in that building and just talked about the opportunity. And, I was so impressed with you and your partner as well on the things that you guys were doing and how you guys are building your business. And I thought to myself, listen, these guys are winners. Can we help them? Can we help amplify it in some way? And hopefully we've been a small part of your journey and your success, but you guys are some of the best in America at what you do. And so proud to partner with you and now excited to take it to the next level, right? You've tripled in a couple of years. Let's triple again. Like, why not us? Like, let's do it. And so really nice to connect with you again. And we've been close for years now, but it's been really great to see your success.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I wanted to do this too, because think about going into the broker world and meeting you, there was a lot of misconceptions. We were always told brokers are not better. Brokers, being a broker is you're gonna lose your control. You're not going to be able to do the things that a retail lender would, which of course with retail, they have their own underwriters, right? Their own process. They fund all 100% of their own business, their own products. And that was always the mentality. And that bled into, the rest of the industry, a lot of real estate agents, a lot of other loan officers. So, can you just tell me, why is it that mentality still exists? And what are you seeing with the growth of the broker channel lately?
Yeah, so it's a great question. It's crazy that it still exists, but I'll explain why here shortly so you understand at least my perspective. But the first part is those retail lenders, their job is to make you think those things. They're not bad people or dumb people. They're marketing themselves and making you think that it's best here. The grass isn't greener. They're obviously not correct, but when you're in the weeds and you're just doing your business all day and you're busy, you don't take the time to look around. Well, when things slow down a little bit, they start looking around and saying, gosh, it is really better over there. What's going on there? Better technology, better pricing, it's not the same game. But the big reason why is people are like, well, why is it better, Matt, to be a broker? People ask me that question. And first off, I'm going to put off the side that it's cheaper for the consumer, lower rates and fees. Like, we all know that. Everyone knows it's better for the consumer. That's not a myth or a question. It's black and white. Okay. So, but why is it better for the loan officer? There's a big dynamic change. So people have to understand, I'm the CEO of UWM. We have 7,000 plus people. I have 40,000 brokers that we work with. But you know what? I work for you. My job is I work for you. If you're a retail guy, you work for me. You're captive. I have to outperform every day. I have to wow you with my technology, my products, my knowledge. When you ask me to come on your show, I have to show up. I can't be like, oh, he works for me. What's he gonna like? I work for you. The dynamic change. When you're captive retail, you work for the company. Here's our products. If you don't like it, deal with it or quit. Hey, here's our pricing's really bad on government today. Deal with it or quit. Yep. Oh, we're not going to do that. The underwriting rejected that loan. Deal with it or quit. On this side of it is, if you don't like my pricing, you know what happens? I get no business. I better sharpen my pricing. If I don't do good on technology, you send the loans elsewhere. I have to work for it every day. It's like I'm constantly impressing you and wowing you and your real estate agents. And so it's a mindset shift. Like, it's a completely different dynamic. You have more control in the broker community than you do in retail. It's not even close. But of course, they say things because they don't know. And so they just don't know. The marketing fear. Second, I work for you instead of you work for me. And then third, for the loan officers, is they just don't know. And so we have to educate them. And right now, that's a good big part of what I'm doing, where right now we're seeing more loan officers leave the retail channel and join broker than ever in history right now. It's pretty exciting.
And listen, I'll tell you, I held you to that. I held you to the standard. I mean, over the last 4 or 5 years that we were working together, look, guys, we're not bound. We don't have a contract with UWM. There's nothing about it that says I have to send my business there. And we've tried out plenty of other investors, whether it's a weird time in the market. I don't know if you've known this, but the past few years have been kind of tense. Yeah. So there's been a few times when, well, maybe this other company and this lender and this investor, and we always come back to who's going to support us the most and who's always there, who's consistent in everything they do, because everything that we do, we try to be consistent. With consistency comes dependability. And so if we're dependable, our agents are going to use us. Our buyers are going to refer us people. If you guys are dependable, we're dependable. So that's been a great partnership, Matt. And, you really, again, thank you so much for helping us grow.
Oh, well, it's been great. And you hit a couple of great points there. I'll say one other thing that you kind of just made me think of is on the competitiveness. Like, you tried other lenders, and that's great, right? You're independent. You have options. And the nice thing is, like, that's good. When I hear other lenders doing good things, you know what I think? I better do better. Like, iron sharpens iron. We're getting better every day. Where if you're in retail, it's like, you can't try anybody but me. You don't know that that underwriting and loans in 4 days is not good because I'm doing it in 4 hours over at UWM. You wouldn't know. And so you got to compete to be better every day. And that's what we've done at UWM for so long. And that's been a big part of our success. And so I'm glad it's working for you and excited to keep winning together.
Yeah. And listen, winning together is big. I mean, we think about what's happened already this year. Rates are up, then they came down again. Look, today we just had the jobs report. It shocked everyone. Rates went up a little bit again. And I think the bottom line is I'm just seeing a lot of fear. And for guys like us that have been around for a while, and I think we're actually exactly the same age. We won't say how old that is, but in 08, 09, when we went through all of that, we saw a lot of fear, and we're seeing it again. So I guess what would you say to the loan officers, even a lot of people are watching this, loan officer agents, even just buyers, and people are looking to get into the market, sell their house, buy their house. What would you say right now to everyone that is afraid and watching the media and seeing all that fear?
Yeah, so great question. Fear is out there in the markets, and the media, of course, likes to play that up a little bit, right? And so what I always tell people is knowledge drives confidence. And if so, go out and get the knowledge about it. So I have no fear of a housing crash because I have all the knowledge about it because I do all my research, I read, I learn, I take now, I'm involved with it. I talk to people like yourself, right? I know the market, right? I'm involved with it. I don't have any fear around it. We don't have fear over how you're going to drive home today because you know you have a car, you know how to drive, you know, like you feel really confident in your ability because you have knowledge around it. And so I always tell people that don't know, like loan officers, they have fear. Do I change? Do I go to a broker? What do I do? Get knowledge first. Then you can make the decision on everything. Knowledge drives confidence and it pushes away fear. And so knowledge is really the rebuttal to that all the time. And too often people read one article and think that's knowledge. That's not knowledge. Articles, videos, watching things like that, like learn, hear other perspectives, and then you can form your own opinion. And knowledge drives confidence. Confidence pushes away fear.
You know, and it's just such a great point because if you're a loan officer, I mean, there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of retail, a lot of other brokers out there. And right now they're looking around, they're going, maybe they're not getting the support they need. Maybe the underwriting, they're chasing conditions all day long, right? Where's their focus? Their focus isn't on growing their business or their brand. Their focus is more on researching conditions, chasing underwriters, arguing with underwriters, arguing with closers. So, you know, it's just something about to have that knowledge about, well, being a broker, someone with like Garden State Home Loans, which again, I have to give them a shout out. They've been supporting us just along with you for so long. I was interested, just again, all these brokers, whether they're small shop, big shop, what do you see? Why is it that you think Garden State has had a great relationship with UWM and a partnership really? And what do you see similarity wise around the country with those types of shops and the success that they've had?
Yeah, well, Garden State and what you guys did over there, and Justin and Joe and all the people that are doing great things over there. The biggest thing I see with why they win, besides that, you know, I can go through, they work hard, they execute, like those are like, but the biggest thing that brokers don't like that they do great is they have extreme amount of structure. They have process at their company. And so they have their salespeople go sell, and they have their process team process. They don't make it so it's so complex. Simplicity usually wins. And Justin and the team over there have done such a great job of using technology, using process to drive their growth. And you know, I really admire what you guys have been doing over there for years at Garden State and how successful they've been. And there's a lot of other brokers that have followed that. But brokers that don't want to have structure, don't want to put different, hey, like people show up to work on time at Garden State. People all call their leads if they're getting leads. People all follow a certain process. You have like processes that you follow. Structure usually wins, right? And so they're very structured and they're very process oriented. And I think that's really helped them catapult their growth so that you can win in multiple different markets because they just are consistent. Use that word earlier, consistently great. You can't just be great today and hot tomorrow and then take Friday off. It's consistent.
Well, and it's funny because we were talking before it came on the air here, how if my focus now can be on the important things, what's going to move that needle every day, right? You know, I think a lot of people, especially in our business, they're busy, but does that mean you're productive, right? So if I'm able to now focus on the things that are actually going to move the needle and grow my business, we were just talking, I love this time because real estate agents have a chance to take a step back, really focus on growth, new process, new technology, things that are going to help them in the long run. And so we've gained more market share in the past several months with the increase in rate, the slowdown in the market than we have in the past 2 years, just because people now have the bandwidth to have that conversation. So, you know, in your world, are you seeing something similar with the brokers? Are you seeing that now you're able to actually have a real conversation? It's not just a crazy freight train going through 1,000,000 miles an hour with low rates and tons of refis and everything. Has this been an opportunity for UWM to take a step back as well?
Yeah, so I think it's been a great time, and I think it's a great time for a couple of reasons. Two big ones. You know, one is people have more time, as you were just talking about, to have a business conversation and understand value. When everyone's so busy, It's just like, who's doing this loan? Who's doing that loan? Okay. Like they don't understand any of the tools. Like at UWM, you know, the tools we offer here, we have brokers that don't use some of them. They don't take the time. They just think we're like another lender and just submit loans. And of course we close fast and we have good technology, but using our tools, using our resources, you start to really see the value and how we can help you grow your business. So that's been a big step, a big part of it right there, right off the bat. The second thing, which I think is really big for real estate agents, loan officers, and, you know, and UWM as well is, you know, winners are going to win right now. The best are going to separate. Last year, you just had to say, I do mortgage and you were successful, right? Now you're going to have to be great. And you have to be better. And a lot of the average guys and gals are falling off, and it's leaving the best opportunities for the best people. And so it's kind of cleansing those people that just showed up and just got loans to people that actually have a business. I think it's a big difference. I've been talking lately. Are you a mortgage company or do you have a mortgage business? And in our world, same thing. You can say with real estate, like, hey, you can do mortgages as a mortgage company, or do you have a business that has strategy, process, structure, knowledge, expertise? If you have that mortgage business, you're going to win, and you love this market.
Let me ask you a question. We didn't talk about this, but I have to know, how sweet was it to take the #1 spot? And how long was that a goal for you?
You know, I loved it because you know what? You know, the big goal was #1 wholesale. We were that now for 8 years. Then the #1 purchase. We've been that for 3 years, and now to be the #1 overall lender in the country is a really great thing. More so for the broker community, because I think it validates everything we're talking about. And so I look at it as more of a broker award than a UWM award. You're just as a part of that as I am, you know. And so it's really UWM plus the brokers together. We're winning, and I think the whole nation is taking notice. And it really put everyone. I was like, they only do wholesale, and they're the biggest in the country, right? Like that's a big deal. And you know, the former #1 company, I don't really like them anyway, so it kind of helped make it a little sweeter. I'd add that in there too.
No idea what company you're talking about, Matt.
I don't remember them either.
I know. I think I saw your face. All of a sudden, I'm opening up my phone and newspaper and on TV, and I'm seeing Matt Ishbia. I'm like, oh, I know that guy. That's pretty cool. So yeah, very good point. It does validate exactly what we're doing. And I mean, what a great jumping point for the future, which that brings us to our final segment. Get your crystal ball out. So let's talk future. Again, fear in the market, a lot of uncertainty. A lot of people they would love to know exactly what's going to happen, but no better person. You're in every market all over the country, #1 lender. What are you seeing? Take me, I guess, short term, but more so in the next 2-3 years. What do you see happen?
You know, so I've been doing this 19 years now, and I've seen many of these cycles, right? You saw the crash in '08, which was the most odd, you know, but everything else has been normal cycles. I understand it. This is a very similar normal cycle. It's very clear to me. I have extreme amount of knowledge and confidence in the fact that we know what's going on in the market. We know housing values are not going up 20% a year anymore, right? But we know that this is a market that's going to be much more steady. And 6.5% rates, 6% to 8% range, we'll call it for the next 6 to 18 months, is how I think about it. I think the housing values go up basically where they're at today. Will basically be flat to up 2 to down 2%, depending on what market you are, over the next 12 to 18 months. And then it's going to get back to another market where the market values go up 5-7%, rates will drop to 5, and 25 or 24 or 26, one of those years, is going to be an absolute blowout. And then it's going to last for a couple of years. So on the mortgage side, 24, 25, 26, 29, but you got to get there. And it's not people are like, I'm just going to coast till I get there. You got to earn the right to get that prize, that 24 to 27 refi boom, that 24 to 27 housing values up. That, like, we have to earn that right. And so I really believe that the next 6 to 15 months will be the determinator of your success for the next 4 to 5 years after that. And so I really think it's going to be a great market. If I'm a buyer, I'm buying now. If I'm a real estate agent, I'm excited right now because I know the market. If I'm an LO, I love the market right now because I know every loan I'm going to do, I'm going to refinance them again in 2 years or 3 years or 6 months, whatever it turns out to be. And so everyone's going to win. You just got to see it that way rather than sit there and think about the doom and gloom. You know, I didn't get a loan this month or this day, and just focus on the good things.
Positivity. I love it, Matt. Well, Matt, thanks so much for coming on the show today. I can't tell you how appreciative I am, not just of this, but, you know, this really just is a testament of how supportive you've been to take the time. And really, we're looking forward to growing with you over those next several years and riding the train with you, buddy. It's going to be a good time.
Awesome. Well, I'm proud to be on the team with you. Thanks for all that you guys do. Keep up the great work. And if I can ever help you out, never hesitate to reach out.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Well, you heard it here, guys. We have nothing but positivity coming at us, short term, hopefully long term. And what better person to talk to than a guy that's in every market around the country and has his pulse on what's going on in real estate and the mortgages. So as we're actually filming this, I wanted to tell you that we are starting to see some of that positivity. Inflation's come down. It came in better than expected, which hopefully that's going to start bringing mortgage rates lower. I'm hoping that we're going to now have a point in time where we start coming out of the woods a little bit, out of this recession, and you can go ahead and you can buy that house, get the best deals out there, and of course get the lowest rates. Of course, we're going to continue to bring on experts and tell you what's going on in the market so again, you can fight and win that battle. Thanks so much, guys. Until the next episode of The Arena, my name is Matt Boyce. Have a great one.